Hi guys, I'm just doing my hair. Good morning. I don't know what day it is, but I'm gonna check. Today's Wednesday. Okay, so hey guys, today we're gonna be doing our morning routine again. Oh shit, that was my mistake. Okay, so we're gonna be doing our morning routine again. Because this is our, like, mid-morning, mid-afternoon routine, but I will call it a morning routine because, like, you know, it's morning right now. Yeah, I know I'm breaking out right now. It's because my period's coming. I already know. Mando de Okay. This time I'm gonna wash my face very good. I know I'm breaking out now. This towel is very clean, so I can put it back whenever I want to. Now we are gonna brush our teeth again, because that's a part of the morning routine. We're gonna put this up. Ooh, girl. Okay, so I'll be there to throw out the water right now and stuff like that, because now we're gonna put this. Now this, guys, is, look at that. That's fresh green mint antiseptic mouthwash. I know I didn't include this in my night routine, but this is different. Okay. Now that we are done with this, now we are going to bring my brush. Okay. Now today is the day that I bring the camera in here for 24 hours. Because, I know we haven't been catching some very recent activity, but last night I heard some things, like last night. I don't know, because at night, the things that happen at night are like very different from what happens in the morning. The night stuff usually happens where like we would hear knocking, we would see things, our name being called. But one time my ex-stepdad was here, right? And I guess that on that day we were making a barbecue or whatever. He wanted to volunteer, he wanted to help, stuff like that. Okay, so whatever. Now, when he was coming inside, something was like right behind him. And this thing was like black. I mean, this was a shadow figure. This was a shadow figure, that was just right behind him, like right in back of him. You know what I mean? So also there's been true accounts where like my aunt's room was haunted before anybody else's room was haunted. So basically the house is haunted because true stories have been passed down to us from my grandma passed it down to us because it happened to her when she was a kid, you know what I mean? The stuff that happened, where like she was little, and like the stories have been passed down to us now. And now that we are more older, and when our house is haunted, we could tell our kids the stories, you get it? So, yeah. So like what happened was is that I was gonna sleep in my aunt's room, right? So because at that time, our cousin was staying here and there really was no room for us to like function and sleep in the same room, you know what I mean? Yeah. Okay, so whatever. So I was gonna sleep in my aunt's room when her whole fucking shelf falls on me. I could have been dead, That's how bad the spirits don't want me. I could have been dead in that moment of the shelf falling on me. I could have passed out. I could have been dead, honey. And that would be an end to me right there because of the shelf. Because it was like this fucking, because on top of there, like there was monument. What the fuck was that? There's like monuments of saints or whatever. Then there's Saint Michael, La Virgen de Cobra, the 7 African Powers, stuff like that. Okay, and she had some books. So that whole shelf couldn't have fell by itself because no one was in the room with us. You get what I mean? No one was in the room. That shelf just by full force had its force on me, and and that moment I could have been dead. I could have been dead at that moment, but thank God I'm not. Thank God. Yeah, so that's a problem, I could have been dead. But also, I remember there's another story. But this is not really a story, this is true. Okay, so I remember like at that time the Craft movie was coming out. Y'all know the light as a feather, stiff as a board, where y'all have to pick up someone with 2 fingers and apparently they're supposed to levitate, it's called the levitation game, the 5 fingers game or whatever, yeah. Okay, so whatever. So at that moment, we were watching the Craft movie and it was me, my brother, my sister, my sister's boyfriend, and I think that was it. So at that time, they said it's called the chair game, or the levitation game or whatever. So you're supposed to get a chair and like you're supposed to pick up someone and they're supposed to be like this with their arms and they're supposed to close their eyes. Okay, so we did that, right? And like we did the levitation game and then we wanted to do the original one where you have to pick someone up with their 2 fingers, right? So we did it, you know, we said light as a feather, stiff as a board, light as a feather. So we picked up my brother at that time because my brother was like the lightest out of all of us. So yeah. Okay. So we picked him up, light as a feather, stiff. So he started levitating. So when we let go of our fingers, he was just stuck in the air. But after, you know, he went down after a while. Okay, so whatever, yeah. Okay, so it passed like about like 2 hours or like 6 hours because we ate dinner that night, you know. We had chicken salad because I remember. And we had chicken salad, you know, stuff like that, you know, drinks, soda, chips, stuff like that for dinner. So I was like, okay. So my aunt says, well, let's go make, okay. So it was already the night and I was asleep because I had crashed, you know. I was on my phone for a little while. I had crashed or whatever. When all of a sudden my mom comes in the room, right, because she has to go get something because, you know, she was going to eat some food, you know, late night snack or whatever. But, so she said that my brother, that something picked up my brother. Like he was floating in the air. And that, like, they had dropped him. And I heard him cry, and I was like, what the fuck? And then my grandma got up real quickly. It was crazy. Y'all don't even know. That's why, you know, on many accounts, they say that that game is just witchcraft, but at that moment, you know, what could you do if you heard that happening? But I think at that moment, we had awoken something up, because, like, you know, the finger trick or whatever. But we did the chair one, so the chair one doesn't do anything. It's just a levitation game, you know, where you're supposed to be like this, and then they pick you up off of the chair, and then they put you back down. But I think the other that we did really awoken something. Or something was there because it didn't like the fact that he was in there. But it was so crazy. Like, y'all don't even know, bro. Like, I heard him crying in the middle of the night, and I was like, what the fuck? So me and my grandma, my aunt had gotten up because my aunt was sleeping with us in there because my cousin was sleeping in the other room. So we heard him crying, and then we got up, and all of a sudden he came running to the room, and he told me that something had lifted him up. Like, he was asleep and something was lifting him up in his sleep, and they dropped him. That was so crazy. Like, y'all don't even know. I don't know. It was just there. See, the true stories that have been passed down from a long time ago were basically like old stories that had happened to my grandma when she was a kid or whatever. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's it. So